Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to Intro to Entrepreneurship. I'm your instructor. My name's April Hearn. Welcome. If this is your first class of your very first semester, a double welcome to you. I wanted to kind of give a kind of an overview about what you're going to see. Some of it you've already seen, um, but I want to make an effort to show you kind of the important parts in Blackboard. As you already know, um, our classes in Blackboard, and so I'd like to just go over a few things in there. Your class probably looks something very similar to this right here. Um, and so when you log in, this will be the first screen that you see. There are some important sections that are more important than others. So content up here. Calendar is important, but I want to say something about the calendar. For whatever reason, not all due dates appear in the calendar like they should. I want you to keep that in mind, and I'll show you an example of that here in just a second. Announcements, and you should get at least one announcement from me a week. You don't need to use this discussions. Our weekly discussions, or every other week, depending on how they fall, will actually be in your weekly folders. Gradebook, always important messages. This is one of the ways that you can reach out to me directly. So you've got messages here in Blackboard. You can also use my phone number, my email address, and um, I use the Remind app. Some of you are familiar with it, some of you may not be. It's a messaging app. I can send you announcements in the same way I send out announcements or post announcements in Blackboard. Also, it would allow you to reply to that or send me a direct message that comes directly to my phone. So you have to download the app. Let me be clear about that. It is an app. You are not required to use it. However, if you like to have access to me a little bit better than email. Now, don't get me wrong, email is my primary form of communication always. Um, but Remind gives us kind of almost the text messaging feel without having to share private numbers. So I'll show you the Remind in just a minute. Um, Important course information. You'll go through this yourself, but um, you'll see faculty information. It's my information, the syllabus, the schedule, the required materials, books, access codes, stuff like that, and all the other help things that could help you be successful in our class. This folder will be there for you all semester. It will not go away. Then weekly, you'll see a new folder pop up. So for this first week, you'll see when you log in, you'll see course information and you'll see week one. You probably won't see week two yet, in the same way you see it on my screen here. And so when you open it, there's a week one things to do, no matter what. You're always going to see a list of things to do from me in this folder. If I could tell you anything that you take away from me, never go directly to the grade book looking for what to do this week. Never, never do that. Because if there is an assignment that's not showing up in the calendar for some reason, it's also not going to show that it's due at that proper time in the grade book. It'll show it in the grade book like a link, but the due date will be wonky. And I don't know why that is the case. If I did, I'd fix it. It's a known issue in Blackboard. Hear me when I say, do not, please ever use the grade book to figure out what to do this week in any class. We have tons and tons and tons of issues in the past with students leaning on just the grade book and not being able to access all of the things that are due. So, to help circumvent that, every week you get a folder from me. Here's the folder. It's dated. You'll see. Here's the week that it is. Here's the dates we'll be working in it. There's a week one list of things to do. So when you click on it, there's going to be a bulleted list of everything you're supposed to do this week, and usually a little bit of explanation if there's a little tidbit I need to share. or something, you'll almost always get a welcome video from me, which is what you're watching. I'm going to attempt to give you a short intro video every week. Here's what to expect type, not a lecture video, but more of what to expect for the week, things to look out for, that kind of stuff. In the week one folder is another copy of the syllabus. Make sure that you have opened that. Bonus if you print it or however you need to, because your syllabus, your course agreement, syllabus quiz, the information is coming directly from the syllabus. So you're going to do this, and that's due on Sunday. You'll see all of the answers to the questions inside the syllabus. There is introductions to do, so introduce yourself to the class. There is already an introduction in there from me, so you can reply to mine if you want, post your own. Introduce yourself to all of us. We're in an online environment together, so we don't really get to know each other in a face-to-face class in the same way. You know, in a on-campus class, we're all in there, kind of meeting and sharing and doing, and we get to learn each other's personalities in this. It's very hard to do that in an online environment. So let's start off introducing ourselves to each other. Share a photo if you can. The remind link that I was speaking of a while ago is right here. So you click on it and it can give you a direct link to sign up for Remind. You'll need to download the app or you won't get the messages. It's that simple. Again, you don't have to, but if you do, there will be 10 bonus points awarded for doing that. So if you want to start off strong, that's one way to do that. So this week, um, course agreement, syllabus quiz, introductions, sign up for Remind, go to the, make sure you, I'm going to say go to the bookstore. I don't think in ours you have to go to the bookstore. There is an ebook that you have to get, and we use a third-party software called Stukent, but it's already embedded in our class. So in week two, and you probably won't see this just yet, but you'll see it soon. You're going to start seeing links, and these are links that will take you to our class in Stukent. Um, so here's what the Stukent links look like. When you click on them, it takes you directly there. Um, and so some of the work that we do in the week is just in Blackboard. Some of it starts in Blackboard but ends up in Stukent, and you can use those direct links to get you there. There probably will be a little bit of growing pains on that this first week. So start early, clicking links and clicking through things, and make sure that we get you connected. Your book is actually charged in your tuition on this one, and so that should already be taken care of. I don't want to misspeak on that because for the longest time you had to go buy a code and then type in the code, and now you don't have to do that. If you're having any issues getting into Stukent, once we start that first chapter, please let me know. Above all things, keep the lines of communication open with us, because um, that's how I know when things are going good or when things are going bad or if something's wrong or your Stukent link isn't working, or like I need to know those things quickly. If life happens and you can't get your assignment due, you'll notice in the syllabus, and I'm not going to go over the syllabus in this video, but in the syllabus, I show that for my late policy in this class, you have a 24-hour grace period. So almost everything will be due on Sunday, but you have a 24-hour grace period. That doesn't mean everything's due on Monday. It's going to show that you turned it in late. But if you did it within 24 hours of that Sunday night deadline, no points taken away, no questions asked. You don't even have to tell me ahead of time, okay? You get a grace period. And that is for all of those last minute, the internet went down or something happened in the family and you had to leave and go do something to help so and so, and you didn't get home until really late. It buys you a little bit of time. Do not depend on all your deadlines are on Monday because they're not. They're on Sunday. I'm just giving you a grace period should you need to use it. So my office is actually in the BTC building on the main campus. It is on the second floor behind the open lab. My office number is 228. You're welcome to drop by. My office hours are Tuesday and Thursday from 10 to 12:30. It's always best if you shoot me a remind message or an email first to tell me you're coming because I tend to get called into several meetings throughout the day and I don't get to turn those down a lot of times. And so, depending on the time, I want to make sure I'm available for you. If you're sitting here looking at it going, man, I work all day long, there's no way I can come at, noon to come see you. That's totally fine too. I can take Zoom meetings, I can take, um, we can email, we can remind message, but it doesn't have to be during the day. I've been known to Zoom with students on a Sunday evening because that's the only time they were off work. If you need me, the first thing to do is to send me a message or email. And if we need to meet, even if it's on the computer like this together, we will find a mutual time. Okay. So just understand. I'm not the one that's going to be like, no, I can't. I stop working at 2 o'clock every day because that's not true. Um, just make sure you're keeping the lines of communication open so we can progress through the class successfully because no matter what, I want you to be successful. I want all of us to hit the ground running very quickly this semester. And I say that we can't put this first week off. The more you put the first week off, the less likely you are to be successful long term. And you're thinking, I'm just busy this week, I'll get caught up next week. Hear me when I tell you, any it, the chances of being successful after not completing the first week are slim. Not for being mean, just in general, that's kind of how the statistics work of successfulness. So start fast and hard this week. There's nothing hard to do. Just make sure you don't put it off. Um, our first deadline is Sunday. We have a syllabus, our syllabus quiz, course agreement, introductions, sign up for Remind. Um, and once all of that stuff gets done, our other weekly folders for week 2 and 3 will start opening up. Nothing can open until your course agreement's done. So make sure that you're working hard and early to get that done. If you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm here. I love doing what I'm doing. This is my 17th year in teaching. I started when I was 5. I'm kidding. Um, anyway, I'm glad you're here. We're going to have a great semester and holler if you need me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.